Hello, Wes. We have the wire fraud king here. Okay, so you've been indicted for wire fraud how many times?
2 times.
2 times.
Unfortunately.
And when was the first one?
First one, I got indicted in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
I worked for the company in 2009. Took almost 5 years for them to do the whole 80 indictments for the company.
Wow. So the first indictment was 2009. That was the first one?
That was for the company I worked at in 2009, yes.
And you got indicted with that one?
In 2014. It took them a while
to
put
14
things
to 19
together.
To put things together. Okay. And how much time did you get for that?
I actually didn't get any time on that one. I got lots of probation and house arrest. And working there kind of gave me the idea that I didn't have to be an employee and give away 60% of the other money I was making the company. And I guess because I was very greedy back then.
Yeah.
And I wanted all of the money.
Okay, so what led you to... So where'd you grow up?
I grew up Palm Beach Gardens, Jupiter area.
Okay, you went to school, whatever. And then what happened when you got out of high school?
Made poor decisions in life.
Yeah.
I was actually homeless, the week before I actually started working for the company that I got indicted for.
So what year did you start working for them?
2009.
Oh, you started working for them in 2009?
2009.
And they get hit in 2009?
No, they got a cease and desist order into the end of 2009,
mm-hmm.
and then the indictments came early 2014. But I was homeless. I was living in a car. First paycheck, I got an apartment. Second paycheck, I got a car. Third paycheck, I started having savings. And then from there, it went to more money than I've ever seen in my life, just build up.
And it was a call center that you were working for. And explain what a call center is, because I didn't even know before.
Call center, telemarketing company, same, tomato. But basically, in a nutshell, we called people, promised them things, and we never did it. And we just kept their money.
So, give me an example.
I'm going to sell you a dream, and you're going to pay me for that dream that's never going to happen. We were doing timeshare scams back then. So I would call you. You owned the timeshare, and I told you I had a buyer, and we were going to sell it for you, but you had to pay us a bunch of fees. And you sent us the fees, and we just strung you along for 180 days until your credit card company would not let you dispute it.
Okay, so you say, look, I have a timeshare in Tallahassee, but you really don't have the timeshare?
No, the people we call actually have them.
Okay.
We find their information from advertisements for sale, and we just contact them, telling them we have a buyer.
But you really don't have a buyer?
We really did not have a buyer, no.
Now, how do you get the money from that?
From them paying us?
Yeah, so you call, I have a timeshare, you're at the call center,
yeah.
You call me, and you say, I have somebody that wants to buy your timeshare, right? But you really don't.
We really don't. We would send them an advertising contract and convince them, that they had to sign it, which was really their credit card receipt for why we were charging them. And once they signed the credit card receipt, we just told them we needed it on file so we could get our commissions. And at the end of the day, after 180 days, we pretty much told them to go
fuck themselves.
Yeah.
So basically, you're getting a broker fee for selling.
That's what we told them it was for.
But I mean, they're paying you for the broker fee.
They're paying for all the processing, all the paperwork.
And you're overcharging the fuck out of them, I'm sure.
Yeah. We could pretty much charge them whenever we wanted at that point.
Now, in the call center there, what percentage does the house get and what do you get?
It depends on who you were and how good you were when they hired you. Most people got between 30 to 40%. Some people got 50. If you're a really good closer, they'll give you 50%.
What were you getting?
I was getting, at first, 35, then I got to my 50% within less than a month when they realized that I was really good at
what you were
phone
doing.
sales. Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to the point where you're getting 50% of the sale.
Yeah, and I still wasn't happy with 50%.
Right. So then it ends in 2009.
Ends in 2009.
Okay, now what do you do from there? Well, I guess you're waiting on an indictment, really.
No, we never thought we were going to get indicted. It literally took 4 years, 10 months later, out of nowhere, we got indicted.
Now, did you start back up, or you?
Yeah, I was actually working at another call center doing the same thing while a friend called me and said, hey, you got indicted, right? And I was like, no. And he sent me a link, and sure enough, I got indicted and kind of scared myself half to death, which was not a fun feeling.
Now, did they come knocking on the door?
No, I didn't go home for 3 weeks, and then a sheriff knocked on the door and left a piece of paper that said I had to go to the post office and pick something up, and I picked it up 3 days before the thing said I had to get it, and I had 3 days to get to the state of Illinois for an arraignment. So I should have got it the day they dropped it off, so I had more time to prepare.
So Illinois is who indicted you?
The state of Illinois is who indicted me, yeah.
On the first time. You get house arrest.
House arrest, probation.
Did you make it through the probation, or did you violate it?
I violated. Smoking marijuana.
And what'd they do?
Give me an extra year.
Of probation?
Yeah.
And did you get through the probation then?
No.
So what happened?
So I was still doing the wire fraud.
Through a call center or on your own?
Yes and no. I had an office where I had people working, but I was mobile because I had people working from home who didn't want to work in a call center. So from me getting 50% at the company I originally worked at, I realized I can get all of it, or at least 90% of it. So I ended up finding that I could find homeless people and people who were struggling in life. This is when I wasn't such a great person, and I didn't have morals or a conscience. And I would open up companies in their name, or just open up bank accounts in their name, and they would give me all the bank account cards, everything, and I would just
tear through it
until they got frozen.
Now, you did this the whole time you were on probation?
Off and on. When I had a couple $100,000 saved, I'd stop. Make very poor decisions, $40,000, $50,000 vacations, clubs 4 days a week, spending $10,000 a night. Strip clubs, Miami.
You were going out every night?
Yeah, at first, for a while.
So we have some pictures of you, and I'm going to put them up and explain the picture.
So most of those pictures, I believe, are from 2009, all at the club.
So what's this one here?
That is at a club in downtown West Palm.
That's downtown West Palm?
Yeah. That was probably a $5,000 night.
$5,000 night
on a Tuesday. On a Tuesday.
Just on drinks?
Actually, that's probably. I think Crash was on Wednesdays.
That was on Wednesdays.
On bottles.
Yeah.
I buy 10, 15 bottles.
And you're on probation at this time?
No, not at that time.
So you're off.
Yeah, that's actually 2013, 2012 actually.
Yeah. Okay. So now what happens after that? So now you're partying like crazy, and
making my money. I keep, obviously because the companies, if I had a company open or the bank accounts, I'd have to keep switching to new accounts, new people, because after a while they'll get flagged, their name will get flagged, the company will get flagged. So constantly changing, headaches. And then I opened up a couple of other businesses. I have this thing where I'm not content with life unless I have 3 sources of income. Because if one messes up, I still got 2 to fall back on. I'm slowly learning just to be content with life with one. But
so what were the 3 that you had?
I had a staffing agency. I had a antique store at one point where it was like a unlicensed pawn shop. In a way of thinking, we did collateral loans.
So somebody comes in, they give you a Louis Vuitton
we
purse.
Really only, we took high-end things, but we really only took like cars. Like as long as you gave us the title, we'll give you a loan. And
then what'd you do with it? Did you fuck them?
No. This was legitimate.
Okay.
But the person I invested my money in, whose business it was originally, he fucked me. I put $50,000 into that, and I have nothing to show for it.
What happened with that?
I did business with friends where I just took advantage of me because they know I'm a nice guy.
So you have the call center thing going on.
Yep.
Which looks like that, right?
Yes.
It's pretty much what
pretty
it
much.
Is. Okay, so
some of the big ones were like that. Some of them were holes in the wall where you would have no idea what's inside of it. If you walked in and it blows your mind, it's
so you have something
center.
like this where there's people there and they're all closing on the bullshit timeshares.
Running $150,000 a day, $100,000 a day. Bad days, $80,000.
That's the whole team. That was the whole team.
Yeah, and originally you could use merchant accounts.
Yeah.
After a while, after a big phase of a few years, it's hard to get merchants for call centers, and it's like a gray area, black area type of business. So after a while, you would just have, you could have people mail you cash, which is hard, or wire transfers, or cashier's checks, or money orders.
Okay.
No personal checks because they'll get their money back.
Right. And then you have the pawn shop.
I had that at one point.
And then what was the antique shop?
There was a pawn shop as well. It was.
You had two.
It was the same thing. It was more of a antique store / we went to auctions and bought stuff.
So in other words, you called it an antique shop to get it open, but you really were pawning shit with collateral.
Correct.
And that was kind of the way you got around it.
Correct. That's what we advertised. We had a sign spinner saying collateral loans, and but we really want to put it out in public.
Okay. So now you're still part
and it was in the hood. So
it was in the hood. Yeah. So you kind of had a little bit of slack, right? Okay. So you're doing that.
And then behind the office door is 10 people on phones ripping people off.
So that's two, because you got your call center and your pawn shop. What was your third? What was your triangle?
At that point, I was trying to find my third.
Okay.
There's only one point in my life where I actually had the third, and I was secure with life. Money was coming in, and I was content.
And what was the third?
I made almost $1.3 million a year.
And what was the third one?
The staffing agency.
Oh, the staffing agency. Yeah. And how did that work?
We were headhunters. We staffed engineers, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, and fire protection. We only staffed big salaries. Anything over $100,000 a year, we got 20%. So I had 8 people working the phones. I worked the phones. I wanted to make extra money. I'm a closer. I don't like the word no. So
I had a guy, Homer, in here. Kind of like what he's doing with his IT staffing, something similar to that?
Something similar. IT, I mean, there's big salaries. That's a tough one, but for engineers, it's...
Yeah, because you need them for everything. I mean, if you want to build a fence, if you want to do anything, you need it, especially in Florida. Other states aren't like here. I mean, here is crazy.
Yeah.
I had the engineering company, and it was fucking nuts. I mean, the permits, this, that, the other.
I don't know much about engineering. I just know how to get them to say yes. They'll work for another company for the right
I had
dollar.
A retired guy. When I opened an engineering company, I found a really good retired guy in Miami. He built part of Miami University, and he was retired. I found him on Craigslist, and he was like unbelievable structural engineer, and he just wanted a part-time job. And I found him 3 days a week. He can work from home, but this guy was a monster.
The problem with the staffing agency is they didn't want people who were retired, people who weren't currently working, who got laid off, who quit. They want someone who's currently working at a company, preferably their competitors in the area. Most engineers are, when they find a job, they're there for years. So we're trying to convince a guy who's been at a job for 10 years to go to another company.
Right.
Doing the same thing, just for more money. They're content, they're comfortable. They have it good there. They can come in late. The fear is they're going to be the new guy, and I don't know. I'm not afraid to make changes in life for more money. So
yeah,
I'm not the average person though.
So now I went for a retired guy because I knew he'd be hungry and he had the experience. You know what I mean? Because a guy that's 65 years old, he's got more experience than some jerk off that just got out of college that might have the degree, blah, 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 blah. But you get a guy at 60 years old. The guy would come in, and we did the breakers, and he came in, and he wasn't using AutoCAD or anything. He was using, like, the pen and the paper with the fucking stencil. The stencil thing, it was fucking nuts, bro. And that's what he was doing.
He's old school.
He's old school, but he was a beast. I mean, nobody could get that done but him. Nobody could do it because of the columns and all this other shit. So you're doing that. Now what happens?
Still on the side, I have all my employees working from home from the other little office I have, making me my $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 extra a week.
Yeah.
Running around. My life is busy. I'm literally never home. I have a child at this point. A son's mother, or my child's mother, who hates my lifestyle, always running around, doing many things at once.
I wonder why she hates your lifestyle.
Yeah. Well, we'll get back to that
Yeah.
later.
Yeah.
Is that the foil of the second indictment?
So now you have a son, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and what year is this?
From 2011 to 2017 is when it all ended.
Okay. So the first indictment's done, the probation's done.
No, probation was never done.
Oh, you're still I thought you were off probation during all this.
No.
Oh. You're on
I'm still on federal probation
okay.
for conspiracy to commit wire fraud while I'm committing more wire fraud.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was bad.
Okay. So now
My second indictment the judge did not like.
So now
it was the same judge. She
okay.
wasn't happy.
I would think not. So now tell how the second indictment happened.
So I kind of pissed off my son's mother, and details I'll leave out.
Yeah.
But it was bad. So she told probation what I was doing still, wrote him an email. I actually have the email on my phone. I screenshot it from her phone when she fell asleep drunk one night, and basically told them what I was doing. And they opened an investigation on me for a year. During that extra year they gave me for violating for smoking marijuana. And January 2018, I had 10 U.S. Marshals kick in my front door.
They kicked in the door?
Oh, they kicked in the door. They gave me an option. It was U.S. Marshals, federal warrant, open the door, or we will open it for you. I had 3 seconds before the door kicked in. I couldn't even process what was going on before the door just came falling in.
I believe it was supposed to count to 10.
It was nowhere near 10. I could have processed what was going on within 10 seconds.
I have a few friends that have been through this, and everyone tells me, they go 1, 2,
there was
3,
no counting.
10.
There was no counting.
It was just boom.
Yeah, I kind of heard him. I was having sex with my current girlfriend at the time, and I kept
while this is happening?
Like an hour before, 2 hours before, they kicked in my door. I kept hearing weird things, and I heard voices behind my bedroom window, behind the bed. And I was like, I'm not tripping, am I? Like, so they were at least nice enough to wait for me to finish having sex. And then they kicked in my... I was butt naked when they kicked in the door.
Really?
Walking around my living room at like 7 in the morning.
And this was an indictment basically for what you were doing while you were on probation.
Yeah, correct.
That your
son's mother.
Your son's mother ratted you out with.
Yes.
Had she not done that...
No, the prosecutor told me that I probably would have not got caught if she did not literally hand me to them on a platinum
platter?
A platinum platter.
A platinum platter?
She gave him a laptop with contracts. She gave him a USB drive with pretty much everything they needed to. There's nothing I could say that they didn't have.
So now you're on probation when they knock in the door.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was up for 3 days.
Yeah. You are
I was partying.
Committing wire fraud. Again, while on probation, I had no idea, I assume.
No, they had no idea. Well, for a year they did while they had the investigation.
Yeah. Okay, so now they come, they kick in the door. What they take all your shit, or they just take the information that they could get?
There was no... So for 6 months from the day they raided my house, so about 6 months prior, I wasn't doing it anymore. I stopped. I just, I kind of found out she told on me, so I just stopped doing that.
But they still got you.
Yeah, I mean, they had the evidence. I committed a crime.
So everything was dead for 6 months, and they still got you.
Oh yeah. The first company I didn't work for almost 5 years. They indicted me 4 years, 10 months later. Yeah. So, you break the law, they're going to find you.
Did they seize anything?
No, they didn't. I didn't have.
On a wire fraud, they didn't take anything?
No.
Wow, you got lucky.
Nothing was in my name. They took tons of marijuana I had.
But they didn't take bank account, cars, nothing?
I stopped having bank accounts for reasons knowing I was, making
So
illegal money, and I would not put it in. I had safe full of cash they took.
They did take it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so they did take the money?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Assets is what I would... No, I had no assets.
Right, but the cash they took?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so now...
That hurt.
Yeah.
That hurt.
I'm sure it did. Okay, so now...
The safe, they had a chainsaw, and they cut it open with a chainsaw. And when the latch they cut off, it flew across the room and broke the front window.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I bet you laughed when you saw that.
I was in a cop car.
Ah. That would have been nice to see, right? Because you already fucked anyway.
I was super fucked.
And now that indictment there, when you got to discovery, what was it actually for? What did they put in it? I mean, I understand it's wire fraud, but they say wire fraud.
They had me so good that they had current people that I was currently speaking to, and they called them. They mailed them all letters, and if you've been talking to this person, please call us. Most of them called. And
friends of yours? Or
no,
friends
people I was defrauding. So they called, and then they said, next time he calls you, record the conversation. So they have me on recording, defrauding people, me telling them to send me this money, them sending me, actually sending me the money to the bank account information that I provided to them on the phone, being recorded, my voice. They played it for my probation officer. It's like, yeah, that's him.
So let me get this straight. They kick in your door after you're banging your girl, right?
Yeah, up for 3 days.
They saw the safe open. They take all your money.
Yeah.
Then they walk out because that's what the feds do. They just leave you to sit.
Oh,
no, they put you in the cop car.
They put me in the cop car.
But then did they let you out?
I had a roommate.
But did they take you in at that time? Or?
Oh, they took me hours later to first appearance.
Really? Right away?
Yeah.
Wow. So
yeah.
Usually...
I kind of had a grow house in the third bedroom, too. It wasn't... my roommate had a grow house, should I say.
Did they charge you with that?
They tried to. He was trying to make me take the charge.
Right.
I was not letting that fly. He took the charge.
Right.
Because it was his.
So usually, all the people that I've talked to, I got videos lined up. I just haven't put them up yet. When they get raided, if it's not violent or something completely fucking insane, I mean, this is insane, but not out of this world insane.
Not only did I have 10
they
U.S.
usually
Marshals.
Just let you stay there.
I had 15 DEA agents run in right after them. They were behind them.
But you had no DEA. There was no charge with the DEA?
No.
Okay, so you get the wire fraud charge. What does it say that you did?
Defrauded 9 different people. They could only charge me for $60,000, $70,000 for that one.
Okay.
So
for the 9 people.
Yeah.
That's not
roughly
bad.
9.
That kept you under the guidelines.
Yeah.
Like you hit that 100. Ooh.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Thank God only a certain amount of people responded.
So after that, they take you in the cop car. You do your first appearance, right?
Yes.
And then they let you go home. You get ROR or you have bail?
Oh no. I was on federal probation, so.
No, I mean ROR as in they let you out.
No. First appearance. Oh, on top of that, they dressed me in white basketball shorts, a purple plaid button-down T-shirt, a red shoe, and like a white shoe. And that's how I go to first appearance in court in front of the judge. So they give me no bond. They put me in a county jail for 3 weeks in Orlando. And I'm there for 3 weeks. And they put me on an airplane with 160 other federal inmates, shackles and chains, fly me to Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
How was that?
It was interesting.
I heard that's not the greatest place to go.
No, it's not. Not at all. And then...
What makes that so bad? I hear that is
shackles
terrible.
and chains, trying to eat a old bologna sandwich.
But they keep you because that's like kind of like when you get on an airplane and say you're going to Cali and you have a layover. You would go from like Florida to Atlanta to Cali. So when they do this designation with the feds, they go.
Oh, we stop in multiple states. They stop
just to
areas near
torture
federal prisons.
Yeah.
Drop off inmates. Inmates get on. We go to another airport strip. Inmates get on. Inmates get off. Meanwhile, there's 10 U.S. Marshals with shotguns, AR-15s, walking around the plane while they're unloading and loading inmates. And then the Oklahoma City, Oklahoma facility is an airport prison. You walk off of the airport like you would off an airplane into the airport, but you're walking into a prison. So it's an airport prison. And then I was there for 6 weeks, and then they put me on another airplane to the state of Illinois. And I was in a county jail 60 feet under the ground for 6 months in a room that was 20 by 20 that the door never opened. It was maximum security. There was no recreation like county jails have. They gave us a little stretchy rubber band, and that was our recreation. So 6 months, literally not seeing the daylight but twice when I had to go to court.
In the county in Illinois.
In the county jail in Illinois.
That's right, because you got indicted by Illinois.
Yeah,
so
it was a federal
your first
hold.
appearance was in Illinois.
In Illinois,
It wasn't here.
Correct.
So you're in there, how long are you in there?
6 months.
Wow. And then what?
And then once I got sentenced, they put, 3 weeks later, that same trip I took to Illinois, I had to do it back to Florida because I requested a prison in Florida to be closer to family.
And is this when you start making the calls? Because you figure, fuck it, I got 6 weeks left, or you made the calls before this happened? When you made the calls where they recorded you?
Oh no, that was way before that. This is while I'm in prison, in jail, getting ready to get sent to prison.
Oh wow!
But the calls they had were over a span of like a year before they got me.
Oh okay, I misunderstood. All right, so they just buried you too. On top of your baby's mom, they just put the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, she got me pretty good.
So now, what'd they sentence you to on this one?
I got 21 months.
21 months.
And
then you
39 months probation.
And then they let you go home? Because you had, 3 weeks to turn yourself in?
No, I did not.
Geez.
So, put me back on an airplane, go back to Oklahoma City Airport Prison. 5 weeks later, I go back to the state of Florida. We fly into Tampa. I go on a prison bus to a prison in North Orlando, Coleman. And I walk in front doors, and on July 3rd.
So you didn't have a self-surrender?
No.
Damn, man, they really wanted you.
Yeah, they got me.
I mean, because there was no violence or anything, right?
No violence.
On both of these indictments, there was no drugs.
You requested bail twice. They denied it.
Really?
Yeah.
And it was just one count of wire fraud?
Yeah, the judge did not like me. It's the same judge that, I had for my first indictment. So.
Wow, I can't believe that. And then on the 21 months, how many did you actually do?
12 and a year, just over a year. Yeah, and then I got work release and which is a joy.
At the halfway house?
Yeah, at a halfway house ran by the feds.
Okay.
So.
And how long were you in there for?
8 months.
And then you got out, and then now you're on probation.
Correct.
So if you had to look back, what led up to all of this? Just greed?
Greed, the way I was brought up.
The way you're living?
No.
When you say the way you're brought up, what do you mean?
I was adopted. My adopted dad died when I was 5. My mom remarried shortly after that. So, I couldn't have money. If I made money, my stepfather took it.
So you were adopted?
It wasn't a...
So where are your real parents at?
I've met my biological mother. She won't tell me who my biological father is.
Really?
I don't think she said. I mean, every man should know who, created you, but if she doesn't want to tell me, I'm not going to make her. I talk to her occasionally on Facebook. But, I ran away from home when I was 16, started living my own life.
So you were adopted, okay? Now, a family adopts you, a mom and dad?
Yes.
Okay, and were they nice?
Yeah. Good? Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Life was great till I was 5.
And then at 5, what happened? Because this all probably leads into what kind of transpired.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
My adopted dad died when I was 5, and then my mom remarried a year later. He wasn't the nicest guy. I as well was not told I was adopted till I was 12.
So you didn't even know?
No. The family life wasn't very good.
And how old were you when you were adopted?
The day I was born.
Oh, really? Yeah. Right from the gate?
Yeah, and I had another adopted sister.
Okay.
So when I was 12 and she was 9, my mother, or adopted mother, sat us both down and basically said, I'm not your real mother.
So neither of you knew?
No. Wow. I found your real parents, and they would like to meet you. And we met both of them, throughout the course of the month, and gave us the option to live with them, because they said they would take us back. I chose not to. And my adopted sister chose to move back with him. So, and I still have a great relationship with her. We talk all the time. She came down to visit actually 2 months ago.
And now, you said your adopted father passed away?
Yeah. Cancer, drugs, partying.
So you kind of watched that growing up?
I remember bits and pieces.
Okay.
He worked on yachts, so I was always out on yachts, in Bahamas, shark fishing. So I remember the drinking, the partying.
Really raised you.
She doesn't smoke. She's a saint.
A saint.
Yeah.
And you still talk to her now?
Yeah, occasionally. We don't have the best relationship, but
she's probably not too happy about 2 wire fraud charges, right?
Yeah.
I would think. Okay, so then what?
Live my life the way I want to. Run away when I'm 16 and never go back, never look back. Nothing's been ever handed to me. Might have made my money the wrong ways, but some of the ways I chose, I made tons of money, millions of dollars. going from homeless to years from that day. I started working at the company in West Palm Beach in 2009. My whole life changed. I had no cares.
Now, how old were you when you started working?
21 years old.
At the call center?
Yeah.
That's when that started?
Yeah.
At 21?
Yeah.
So now you're getting all this crazy money. You're partying like
$30,000 a week.
Yeah.
Most I made in a week was $56,200 in change. I can't remember the exact.
So you're making, let's just say.
And I'd spend it all that same week, partying, going to the clubs, Miami,
you're 20.
Blue.
You're 21 without any type of parental guidance.
No children at the time.
You kind of had a fucked up life growing up.
Yeah.
So I mean that kind of gets to you. So now you run into this jackpot. You're getting, let's just say, average $120,000 a month. You're blowing through it like crazy, getting all the attention from these girls at the clubs, drinking, drugs, whatever the fuck else. Now you're tearing through it. So by the end of the week, you just dropped the 30 grand's empty.
I mean, I'd have maybe $500.
$500
when I'm recovering from those long weeks I had. Maybe I'll have a good week and just save the money. But the money's always I saved up $800,000 at one point. So
now, but
when you go from being broke, having nothing, and you get money like that, at least I went wild.
So now you have to basically make the money to keep up with your lifestyle, which means more fraud.
That's
manipulation.
why I went back to doing wire fraud, because I had a lifestyle I was used to, and I wasn't content with being I don't know what the definition of normal is, because I've never had a normal life or childhood. So,
I would say
my normal.
Okay, so I would say you're not content with a 9 to 5, where you wake up.
I am. I gotta be making the right amount of money. You can't put a hourly dollar amount on my body. Like I'm worth more than any dollar amount you can put.
That's good, but I can never see you working a 9 to 5. Like waking up at 7:30, making coffee, getting dressed, going to work at 9.
I've done it many times.
Clock it, yeah. I'm saying the right way. I'm not saying.
I've done it the right way many times since then.
And how'd that work out?
I mean, my staffing agency, I made really good money. Because that's what I was doing, and I would just, at the end of the day, I'd go do my rounds, collect money, pay people out.
Okay, Wes, but you have a staffing agency that maybe you're doing a 9 to 5, but you have two other things that you're not doing a 9 to 5. So that was a good play. He tried.
I tried.
But no go. But I'm saying if you just had a 9 to 5, not anything on the side, no backup. You wake up and you go work at the call center, whatever the fuck it is, and then you come home at 5, you crack a beer, sit in your Hanes underwear with the blue and yellow stripe and a wife beater, prop your feet up with your belly, have a Budweiser and a bag of chips. That's what people 9 to 5 do. A lot of them do.
That sounds boring.
Well, I could never see you doing it. So
one day, when I find the right woman.
Yeah. Just because you find the right woman doesn't mean you're going to be able to do that. You're going to go to a 9 to 5? Wes, I don't think so. I don't think so, pal. It's not enough for you. You'll be in more trouble than you ever. If you tried to do a 9 to 5, you would end up in more trouble than you ever been in your entire life. I would give you.
I'd be more
I'd give you
with
45 days. No, not the women. I'd give you 45 days before you break and go fucking ham.
I could do it.
Really?
I had the mindset.
Really?
As long as I'm
How's things going right now, Wes?
I mean, life could always be better, Life could always be better.
Okay, so what are your goals from here? So you've gotten indicted twice. You got through it though. You're not dead. You got clocked on this last one.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about that. I mean,
it hurt.
The moving you around is just bullshit. How'd you like Coleman?
It wasn't the Ritz-Carlton. I mean, I don't like the whole being told what to do. Time to eat now. You can go to the recreation yard now. Go back to your dorm now. That's not the...
And that was the first time you were actually in federal prison,
In a
right?
prison, yes. I've been in jail multiple times, but never in prison.
Now, in total, what do you think you made on this last case? Because this one was bigger than the first one, right? Financially.
Financially, I mean, the amount of loss that I did was $24.5 million.
$24.5 million on this one?
No, the in total.
In total, between the two?
Yeah.
$24.5 million. Whew.
That's a lot of dollar bills.
That's a lot of dollar bills.
Yeah. And funny story about Coleman, actually. My first day in prison was July 3rd. I got there at night, so everyone was sleeping when they brought us into the dorm. So I fell asleep at night and went to bed. I woke up on July 4th to rap music blasting. So I just decided to wander the prison yard. So I go out of my dorm. I walk to the recreation yard, and there's like a concert, rock and roll bands. They're giving away red, white, and blue snow cones. There's a stage where there's guys rapping and giving performances.
In Coleman?
In Coleman.
Coleman, it was a low.
I was in a Coleman. I was in a low security prison.
Okay.
So my first day in prison, I was like at a daycare / college where they're giving away snow cones and having concerts and rap concerts. Very interesting. It's definitely not how prison was every day.
Yeah.
Just that one day.
Well, it used to be a lot different. You know that.
I've heard.
Well, yeah, you weren't there. But back in the day, I mean, you know, they're on a national menu now. So every federal prison has the same food. Years ago.
Yeah, I don't like chicken anymore.
Years ago, each prison could serve whatever they wanted. So before, like in 2006, 2007, Tuesday would be like seafood night. It'd be fish, like good fish. Thursday or Friday was steak night. And I mean, not like, filet mignon, but I mean a good steak. I mean, they had soda machines.
Yeah, they didn't feed us like that.
They had soda machines. They had a golf course where you could get a tee time. You could actually buy a golf club off commissary in the law.
To kill somebody with.
No, it wasn't like that because, everybody there had done, I would say 80% of the people that were in there, they had gotten, say, 25 years.
And they're there for
and
after
they worked themselves down to
from
under
maximum
10.
custody to low.
So now they're at the point where they don't want any fucking problems. And if somebody in
there was rarely any problems there, rarely any fights.
Yeah, because, they want to get to the camp, which for people that don't know, a camp is no fence. And basically, you don't get fucked with. It's a party central in the camp.
I've heard.
Yeah, it's party central in the camp, my man. Oof. But in the low, there's none of that shit because everybody wants to go home. And if you fuck around and fuck shit up for other people, then the guys that just did 15 years and made it to a low, and now you're getting the whole place locked down, it's not going to be a good day for you. So they calm everything down and everything is cool. That's why they had the golf clubs and all kinds of shit back then. But as I've heard now, it's completely changed. And my belief is that it changed because back then, if you got caught with a gun, you didn't go to prison or federal prison. The state took
prison.
it. Yeah, you went to state prison. Now the feds decided to take the gun charges, mandatory minimum, 5 years.
I got arrested for carrying a concealed firearm when I was 20.
Yeah, that was back.
I got 90 days.
90 days, right?
I got blessed.
Well, now you get 5 years because the feds took that over. So now what happened? So back before, when you were in federal prison, especially a low or a camp, and even a medium to an extent. So there's, so people that don't know, there's a max pen, then there's a pen, max penitentiary, which is the maximum. Then there's a penitentiary.
Pen 2 for dropout gang.
Then there's penitentiary 2 for the guys that want to get out of the gang, they don't want to get killed or they're rats or whatever they may be. Then
medium.
Then you got the medium, the low, and the camp. And it's just so different. But because I believe it's because the feds took over the gun charges. So now anybody walking around that has a gun, they're getting a mandatory minimum 5 years for that gun.
5 years.
So now that fills the federal system up with not the white collar guys or the heavy hitters that were did a lot of stock fraud and things like that. So it's a whole different atmosphere now than it was then. Because before, to get to federal prison, you had to have made $1 million. There was nobody in there.
I was in prison with a guy who sold 1 gram of crack to an undercover cop, and he got 18 years in prison.
Now, those guys were in there back then,
millions of dollars, and I didn't even get 1/30th of what he got.
It's a fucking crazy law. The weed law is the craziest. Federally, it's still a Schedule 1.
Yeah.
I don't know why they don't change that. I'm not saying it shouldn't be scheduled, but a fucking 1? That's equivalent to heroin.
Oh, yeah, I don't know how.
Because one's
That's gonna
heroin,
change.
two's coke, three's
That's gonna
steroids,
change.
weed. Or no, steroids. I mean, they have marijuana above fucking Xanax. Xanax is like a 4 or 5. How in the fuck is marijuana worse than Xanax?
Marijuana is healing people. Xanax is not.
Right. So there's healing properties to the marijuana, but they have it as a Schedule 1, which is Schedule 1, if you look it up, is no medical benefits at all. When you get down the schedule, it's lower. So they got the medical marijuana at a 1, but a Xanax, if somebody could take a Xanax and have a drink with, they don't even know where the fuck they are.
Or they're in Walmart stealing shit.
Or they're in Walmart stealing shit. You have some experience with that?
Yeah, I don't take Xanax for reasons.
Yeah.
I'm sure I could definitely get prescribed them, but I would end up probably in Walmart stealing stuff.
And you'd have another knock on the door.
It's a whole. You don't know. I don't know who I am when I'm on Xanax.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah,
It's
I
terrible
don't like
shit.
Xanax.
So
Not my friend.
damn, I 24.5 million, huh? Well, you didn't do too bad considering the number. I mean, you only got 21 months. How much on the 21 months? How much did you do in prison?
Just over a year. A year and like 3 weeks.
And then you went to the halfway house.
Yep.
You went to the West Palm halfway house?
Yep.
Salvation Army. How long were you there?
8 months.
8 months. And then did you go home on house arrest, or you just went right from there?
I went straight just to probation.
To probation. And how long have you been on probation now?
Over a year and change.
How long did they give you? With the
39 months.
Wait, you got 39 months probation?
Yep. The charge carried
I never even
5
heard of
years, which is 60 months. I got 21 months in prison, and the remaining of the 5 years, which is 39 months of probation.
That's one weird sentence.
Yeah.
Now, are you eligible to get early termination, or that's
Yeah.
out the window?
I'm definitely eligible.
So how if you keep yourself together?
Keep it together. I don't know how long I have to do that for, but
Yeah, well, you have to get half of it done.
yeah.
Okay. So
So-
now what are your plans in the future?
Trying to find my next $1 million venture that's going to be legal. I have many ideas in the works.
What's some of the ideas? Nobody's going to steal them from you.
And
if they do, they're not going to be able to attack them the way you
anyone
would
could do
anyway.
I'm gonna get rich by making girls rich, running their social media and their OnlyFans accounts, premium Snapchats they got going on.
So
Marketing and networking is one of my good skills, and I love women, so why not get rich, getting them rich?
So you're gonna
I'm gonna be their management consultant.
So you're gonna be a management consultant for OnlyFans, and then what would you do?
Run dating apps, social media. I have people who do SEO. We would do all the advertising, reply to the messages for them. It's still in the works. We're getting ready to make a move, me and a few friends. I have photographers, friends with yachts and boats where we can take them all out, do nice little photo shoots, little mini islands around Palm Beach. So it's been in the works, been talking about it for about a month and a half now, so.
And that's kind of something you can do from home. You don't even really need an office for that or anything.
Oh, but we're gonna get an office.
Well, yeah, I mean, you'll expand to that.
Yeah.
So that's the next thing on.
That's my next venture.
On your list. You're not gonna have 2 or 3.
As I said, I'm trying to slow my roll. I have to perfect the first one before I add anything else. Otherwise, I'm running back and forth.
So I know you're an entrepreneur, whether it's legal, illegal, gray,
everything's gonna be legal
whatever.
from now on.
Right.
No more
Yeah.
federal prison for me.
No. You get hit again, it's not going to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially another wire fraud indictment, and that'd be bad.
Yeah. My friend got hit, and they weren't even big charges. The last one was pretty big. I just did an interview with him today, and he just got 18 years.
Yeah, I can't even fathom hearing a judge say that number.
Yeah, he got fucked real good. He was selling those analogs. But at the time, there wasn't an analog law.
Yeah.
And basically, to make a real long story short, he was making the shit, and he had sent a package to somebody, and they died. But the thing with that is he wasn't just taking the analog. There was other stuff that he was on that put him over the edge, but that's not actually what killed him. But they kind of acted as if that was a body on him, and then, they just crushed him. But what the point is that that's his third indictment. And the third one, there was no leniency, no nothing. He got buried. buried and hit with things you shouldn't have even got hit with.
I'm staying in the.
So.
I'm staying in the. I'm not in the HOV lane on the highway.
Now how are you gonna
more
do
over
that?
to the right.
Now okay, so your plan is you're gonna be basically a broker for these OnlyFans people,
management
them,
consultant, advertising,
and do it on Snapchat.
No, do it. There's multiple platforms.
Yeah.
It's still in the works.
Okay.
But
well, when you have that up and running, we'll have you back in, and then you can.
I'll bring some of the girls in too.
You could bring them in, and you can promote it and get that going. Now, for somebody who has an idea, maybe doesn't have a lot of money, but they have an idea. Again, you don't want to do what you did because it's illegal. But
I could pick up go buy a cell phone, pick it up, and I still know the right people to get the information, the leads I need. I could go make $20,000 in 2 weeks right now if I wanted to.
Right.
I'm not trying to get back to that.
Right, but what I'm saying is, whether it's legal or illegal, the principle of business is pretty much the same.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is.
Fast money is fun, but
the principle of making the business work, it's the same, illegal, gray, or legal.
No, same concept. The same. Yeah.
So somebody who's out there that's broke has a good idea, because you've been at $24.5 million. I don't care if it was
homeless. I
don't care if the $24.5 million was illegal or not. To pull $24.5 million out of somebody, over how long was it?
From 2009 to 2017.
In 2 years.
No, that was 8 years.
8 years. Damn. I'm thinking, okay, so it's still pretty good. What would you tell somebody to do?
Pursue their dream. Have it perfected before you push forward. You'll never have it perfect, but have it where you have a guideline of how you want it to run and, push it. People will tell you you're crazy, you're not going to make anything, you're not going to do it, but don't listen to them.
So in other words, never give up, because you're going to fail.
I failed many times.
Yeah, but you just got to keep trucking. Now, what would you say to somebody to keep them away when the money does come in, to not make the mistakes of you partying and blowing $30,000 a week at a strip club? How would you tell somebody to stay grounded? I'll put the pictures up in the video. You just look, you're out of fucking control.
Yeah, I was at the club 5-6 days a week,
spending
$3 to $10,000
a night. Now how?
I've been to Miami, Fountain Blue, had the 5.5 bedroom penthouse suite, brought 10 girls from Scarlett's home with me and 5 of my buddies several times. Rented out, the VIP at Live. We spent $250,000 between the 5-6 of us several times for the weekend.
Now, as somebody who's young, how do you contain that? If you could go back, what would you have done different?
I still
to this day,
like to have fun like that, but I would now rather see money in my bank account than, probably because I've already had those fun nights before and I got that under my belt, but I wouldn't mind having them again.
So every person that I've talked to, and I evaluate, people that have gone to jail and got indicted plenty of times and all that shit. To me, I think that the way you would keep that grounded is the people around you.
Yeah, I have good people in my little circle. So
if you have the people around you that want to go
have
party,
good people back then.
And here's the question that I ask everybody that comes in here that loses everything and everything else. When you had $30,000 a month, how many people?
$30,000 a week.
$30,000 a week.
At some points.
How many friends did you have around you? You had every Tom,
I couldn't
Dick,
even
and
tell
Harry.
you.
Okay. Now, when the door comes down and all the money goes away, and now you need help, where were all they?
Oh, they're long gone. Long gone. I have a good circle of friends now.
So I think that's important to point out is that, if you're making money, all these people around you, it's bullshit.
Yeah, 100%.
99.9% of them are just around you.
They just want you for your money.
That's it.
Want you to pay. I'd pay for 20 people at the club every night. I would buy 10 bottles and I wouldn't drink a single one. I'd order myself Captain and Cokes or Coronas.
But you loved West, and
I like being in the limelight.
And it fulfilled your insecurity.
You can call it insecurity.
Do you go to therapy?
Probably need to.
You should go to therapy. You should. You really should. You should consider that. It could help you out. Dr. Marco Gressi. He's a beast. He's the best of the best. And he's a normal guy. He's not like hey, Wes, breathe deep.
How was your day today?
No, it's not like that. No. He's like a guy like me and you. You should consider it. You should.
Keep that in thought.
Well, you probably won't listen, but, just stay out of fucking jail. And stay away from the wire fraud.
Nope, never again.
All right, we'll have you in again, and you can tell some more stories. We just want to get the base out, and then we'll also bring in again a third time when you have your new management business up and running.
It's going to launch shortly.
All right. Thanks for coming in, Wes.
No problem, Tommy.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Have a good one.